Welcome, guys, to this Tuesday evening on Simple Takeoffs as we get ready for our trip here from Montreal to Toronto. Relax, sit back, and enjoy the ride. Mic check. Mic check. we go. I hope you guys can hear me. Welcome to this Tuesday evening stream. We're going to be flying to Toronto tonight from Montreal International. I hope everybody had a good day and everyone's ready to relax and spend the evening with Simple Takeoffs. A little order of business before we start. We just released episode 7 of Flight Geeks, and I think it was a very good one. Check it out on the channel. It's called The Smooch, episode 7, so please like the video if you like what you see, and don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends and family and everyone else to check out the channel just to get a little more traffic going and help the YouTube algorithms pick it up. So on that note, let's get started, guys. Welcome again. We're going to be taking the TBM tonight on the trip to Toronto from Montreal. IFR, Instrument Flight Rules. All right. Departure airport's going to be Charlie Yankee Uniform Lima. We put some music on. Shout out Ben Sound for royalty-free music, keeping us company here. Let's pick some urban groove. All right. Trying to see where we should take off from, or which gate we should start from. Small, that makes sense. We're in a small airplane. And we're going to be going to Yankee Zulu Pearson Airport. Over here we're going to go select our instrument flight rules, high altitude airways. And I will pick flight level 240. Live weather, live traffic. So I guess these are the different routes we can take, guys. So we'll take the shortest route here, hour 42 minutes, 299 nautical miles. That all sounds good to me. Let's change the track real quick. Alright, let's go flying, guys. Again, welcome to a live stream of Simple Takeoffs. Glad you're here with us tonight. And if you watch this video after on demand, be sure to smash that like button, or gently tap that like button, because I don't like to say smash that like button, it's too overplayed. And don't forget to give us a subscribe and hit that notification bell for instant alerts when we go live. Is that snow on the runway? Alright, that's not a good start. It's gonna be slippery. Turn everything off and make sure parking brake is set. So we're going to be starting from cold and dark here in Montreal, and I already see some icing building up on our windshield, but unlike the other night where on 2 nights ago, I think the stream is called Aviators Huge Lesson to be Learned, if you want to go watch the end of that. We had a little bit of an incident due to icing, I think, and I'll leave it there. You can go check it out. So let's get our checklist out, and radios are off. Pump. I have it programmed in my Honeycomb Bravo throttle quadrant here, one of the programmable buttons, switches, so it's off. Fuel selector is on manual. Autopilot trims off. All our de-icers are off. We're going to need them tonight. We're going to definitely turn those on in a second here. Parking brake set. Throttles on cutoff. Alright, before starting, engine checklist. Crash lever coming up. We're going to put on our battery here. Generator coming on. This one's called Funny Song. I don't like it. TOS system test. Okay, that's the traffic awareness warning system. Landing lights. Everything's good. Fuel on board. You know what? We need more fuel. Wonder if there's a way to request more fuel. There we go. All right. I am going to ask for 75%. And we're going to do all our weight and balance right here. No co-pilot with me tonight. You guys are all virtual. And I have a 10-pound suitcase in the back. And beside me, I have a 10-pound Nokia brick cell phone from the 2000s. How about that? So everything looks good here. We're under the max allowable. checklist real quick. So we're good with that. All right, we are ready to start. Look at that icing. Auxiliary boost pump. Boost pump. Boost pump is on. Get some light here. And propeller area, let's see. Clear. Clear. Let's go back inside the cockpit. Engine start. Alright. NG's building up. We are in low idle. ITT going in the green. So NG successfully went past 30% by 30 seconds, so we're good there. ITT max 870 for 20 seconds, and that's way below, so we have a nice start. Oil temperature, pressure's in the green. No CAS message here for starter. Alright, good. We have turned on the airplane, guys. I'm going to put it in flight idle now.
bensound.com.
Alright. Now oil temperature, pressure, everything's good.
bensound.com.
I'm going to turn my boost pump back to auto. Fuel selector going to auto. Fuel select the shift button, let's test it out. So it was on left, it should go to right now. Let's see. Yep, we're in the right tank, so it works. Autopilot trim's coming on.
bensound.com.
Generator is on main. Now we can turn on our bleed air, which takes care of all our cabin climate controls and our engine anti-ice systems.
bensound.com.
Pitot heat coming on. And this is very important. All our de-icing systems coming on. Airframe,
bensound.com.
ice light, pop de-ice, and windshield de-icing system to get all this stuff melting.
bensound.com.
And it is freezing here, so let's crank the heat. Get some airflow in here. Alright, everything's good here. Inertial separator coming on as we get ready to taxi very soon. Now before we do our before taxi checklists, let's go ahead and get the weather, which is the ATIS, Automated Terminal Information Service. Automated Terminal Information Service, yeah. On 127.5. So I'm gonna go here and scroll to my through my Logitech radio.
Normal airport information Golf 01000. Wind 064 at 14. Visibility 15.
064 at 14.
Ceiling 13,100 feet overcast. Temperature -5. Dew point
Alright guys, we got golf.
Normal airport information
Let us get our clearance now. We're gonna go ahead to Montreal clearance on 125.6.
visibility 15. Sky conditions. Ceiling 13,100 feet overhead.
Let me just change the track for you guys real quick. Alright. So now we can request our clearance. Sounds good. So we're gonna say we're gonna enter our squat code 0062. And he's gonna get back at me right now. He's asking me to acknowledge. So squat code is in. Alright, 121.9 for ground. I'm just gonna go here to my transponder 0062 is in. Alright. So we've been instructed to climb and maintain 5,000 as part of our IFR clearance. So we're gonna set our altitude plug here, which I have in my FCU here in the Honeycomb Bravo. I'm gonna go to 5,000. Alright. What else? So I'm gonna need to go to tower. And tower is ground will give us tower. We're not there yet. So 5,000 altimeter is 299.7. Let's go ahead and put that in. 299. Nah, it doesn't really matter, but just to be precise. Alright, 299.7. Alright. I think we're ready. So let's test the flight controls. That's the next item. Alright, that all looks good. Change the track real quick. Grab a sip of water.
bensound.com.
Very important to stay hydrated, guys. Let's see here.
bensound.com.
Sound.com, bensound.com. Flaps are up and indicating up. We're gonna feather the throttle twice. Low idle, high idle,
bensound.com.
low idle, high idle. Good. Taxi lights,
bensound.com.
beacon, nav, strobe. Beacon we should have turned that on before we turned the engine on, but it wasn't part of the checklist for some reason. I think it is as part of the
bensound.com.
Cessna checklist, the 172. But anyways, taxi lights are on, landing lights are on, all the lights are on. Parking brake coming on.
bensound.com.
Alright. Let's contact ground now.
bensound.com.
Montreal ground simple takeoffs to
bensound.com.
Alright guys, we're just waiting for the pushback here. Again, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
Insound Delta.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all the rest to you and your family. I hope you have a great holiday weekend or holiday period. Find it nice and relaxing and
Insound Delta.
recharge for the new year. We have big plans for the new year for this channel. So stay tuned, guys. Alright, that should be good.
All ground simple takeoffs 2 for requesting the end pushback. Simple takeoff 2 for request to end pushback received.
Alright, we're ready to taxi here.
All ground simple takeoffs 2 for Montreal ready to taxi IFR. Simple takeoffs 2 for taxi to and hold short of runway 06 left using taxiway channel. Contact tower on 119 when ready.
Alright, we're gonna enter 119.3, which is our frequency. And we're gonna pull up our map here. So they want us on 06 left using taxiway Charlie. So if we turn to the right and go straight, guys, and go all the way to the end, take a left and then a right, and we should be able to line up on 06 left here. Alright, that sounds good to me. Alright, let's go ahead and go into taxi position for our throttle here. Feet ready to brake. Next track at Ben Sound. This one's called Downtown. Alright. I hope you guys had a wonderful flight with us here tonight. That's the whole short line for runway, for the runway to our right, so we definitely don't want to go there. That's why we didn't want to go on that runway. That would have been an incursion with that aircraft that just landed. guys. Let's park it in here for a run up. So we can actually go on tower right now, but before we request anything, let's finish our run up. So parking brake is on, landing lights are on, all my lights are on, strobes on, everything's on, ignition is on auto, perfect. Auxiliary boost pump is on auto, we'll double check that, yep. Let me just change the track real quick. Next page. Miami, that sounds good. Alright, fuel selector one more time is on auto. De-icing, everything is on, and we can double check. Definitely don't want to have another incident with icing. And again, if you just joined me and don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the video from 2 nights ago. It was called Aviators, huge lesson to be learned here, and particularly the last 5 minutes, you don't want to miss that. It was interesting. Get rid of that. Inertial separator is on. Okay, now the trims, this is important. I'm gonna come here.
Bensound.com.
My rudder trim, I want it in the green. My ailerons, my elevator trim
Bensound.com.
in the green. Flaps coming one level down to takeoff. Bleed air is on.
Bensound.com.
Alright, so for takeoff, you know all this.
Bensound.com.
Okay. Our altimeter, altitude, everything is set.
Bensound.com.
Alright guys, let's get this show on in the air, not on the road, in the air. We're gonna request takeoff.
Bensound.com.
Montreal Tower simple takeoffs 2-4 ready for IFR departure runway 06 left.
Simple takeoffs 24 altimeter 29er decimal 9er flight 071 final.
Bensound.com.
Alright, we just adjusted the altimeter. One last, or not altimeter, the altimeter, sorry. Before we get going here, so we have been cleared for takeoff.
Bensound.com.
Just hope I'm not. Is this snowing, guys? Snowing on me? No. Alright, let's use every inch of the runway that we can.
Bensound.com.
Alright, no delay.
Bensound.com.
Let's get this show on the road, guys. Welcome. Airspeed's alive. Engine instruments in the green.
Bensound.com.
87 rotate. Going to check what the rotation speed is for this aircraft. The positive rate, gear up. And flaps coming up. As we see the de-icing system doing a good job here of melting everything so we don't have another incident like the other night. Never gonna let that go on my. Alright, we're gonna pull back on the torque a little bit. On the power.
Takeoffs 24 contact Montreal departure on 124.65. Good day.
Let's do this handoff real quick.
124.65 for simple takeoffs 2-4.
It's a little windy.
Montreal departure simple takeoffs 2-4 is passing 1,400 feet, climbing 5,000 feet.
Simple takeoffs 24 Montreal departure altimeter 29er decimal 9er flight. Continue as planned.
Alright, guys. I find I have to give it a little bit of left rudder because we are just getting some strong crosswinds from the left here. And I am hand flying it as we continue our climb. Let's head a little to the left here to get on course. We just got pushed way to the right from the crosswinds to the left there. I should have had the rudder in, but alright. Now I'm gonna have the autopilot come on a heading hold, and I'm gonna put it on flight level change as we climb. Now I'm gonna put it on nav. Go to our flight plan.
Simple takeoffs, 2-4 climb, and maintain 11,000 feet.
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Simple takeoffs 2-4.
Simple takeoffs, 2-4 climb, and maintain flight level 180.
That was fast.
Climb and maintain flight level 180. Simple takeoffs 2-4.
Alright, they gave us flight level 180. The airplane is starting to take a left turn now, as it should, as we continue our climb. We don't want to over torque it. ITT was going to start going up.
Simple takeoffs, 2-4 contact Montreal.
Whoa.
Center, on 13,
It's turbulent.
Good day.
Let's acknowledge the handoff.
Going to 132.85. Simple takeoffs 2-4.
So 132.85. We got some strong winds aloft here tonight, guys. These winds are no joke. I'm just stepping on the left rudder the whole time. Alright, 132.85. We are on course towards Toronto. As I try to trim the airplane a little bit. Alright. (13285). Let's contact Montreal Center.
Simple takeoffs 2-4 is at 10,000
continue to Lafayette as planned. So we're gonna go over here, and Lafayette is the next waypoint in our FMC, so everything is good. Quite shaky. It is turbulent. So right now I'm just hand flying it just because it's windy and I don't want the autopilot to do anything funky and suddenly turn off on me unexpectedly. So just to be safe, I'm hand flying. As you can see, we're a little bit right of our course just because we are getting those southeasterly winds on our way up to flight level 180. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and request a higher cruise altitude just because flight level 180 is a little weird. That's the transition in North America. That's the transition altitude that where we go from the local altimeter setting to a standard 299 or 2. So again, it's one of those things that if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just Google flight level 180 and what makes it sort of special, what makes it important. So if you're just on that flight level 180 and you're on a higher altimeter setting, or sorry, on a lower altimeter setting than standard, then once you get to 180 and you put it to standard 299 or 2, it is going to think you're too high and it's going to descend. And if there's an aircraft that is, say, on flight, or not flight level, altitude 170, so 17,000 feet, and you're supposed to be at 18,000, but because of the fact that the aircraft that's at 17,000 is in a local altimeter setting lower than 29992, and you are at the standard altimeter 29992, it's going to basically make you descend and get within less than 1,000 feet of that aircraft underneath you, which is a breach of the minimum, I guess, altitude difference for crossing. So that's usually why it's easier to just avoid the complication altogether and go to a higher altitude. So we're gonna do that. Let's go to, let's see if they give us our ultimate, our last, or not last, our final cruising altitude I selected, which was flight level 240. So that would be an increase of 6,000. So I'll ask for that, see if they give it to us. Whoa, too much. Not 300. Sorry. So I think I know what happened there. When we increased our altitude by 6,000 feet, what happened was in the system I had already filed for 24 flight level 240, so it added the 6,000 to that, and it went to flight level 300, which is not what we want. So I have to decrease that again. So first I have to acknowledge, and then I'll decrease it again. See, I thought if I ask for an increase of 6,000, it'll be based on what I am now. So it'll take me from 18 to 24, but no. Another lesson learned in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So let's go ahead and decrease it again by 6,000 to come back to where we were, guys.
Montreal Center, simple takeoffs 2.
As we continue our climb to flight level 180, and just because I've been hand flying it, I haven't had a chance to even change the music. So once we get to our cruising altitude, I can put on some tunes for you guys again. There we go. So basically, we didn't need to do anything the whole time. The whole time they had us planned for flight level 240 anyway.
Air Canada 427, contact Montreal, departure on 124.65. Good day. Morningstar 7054, you are 12.
How did I pull up the wings? wind right here. Option 3. Let's do that. So you can see here, guys, winds are coming from the west, southwest from 242 heading at 64 knots as shown in my PFD here, my primary flight display. So it's kind of like headwinds at the moment.
Simple takeoffs 2-4, please acknowledge.
Oh,
Descend and maintain flight level 180. Expect flight level 240. Simple takeoffs 2-4.
Simple takeoffs 2-4, climb and maintain flight level 240.
there we go.
Climb and maintain flight level 240. Simple takeoffs 2-4.
Montreal Center, Air Canada. 427 is passing.
Flight level 240, here we come.
Descending 10,000 feet. Air Canada 427 Montreal Center, altimeter 29.9 for continuous planned.
Alright, we'll climb again to 240 and then we can lighten the load on the pilot a little bit and I can chill and hang out with you guys. It is shaky. Look at that though. I don't want to mess around too much with this outside view thing because it's really windy tonight and one little wrong move and I can stall or something else can happen that's unsafe. We don't want that. As you can see how shaky it is, guys. Hopefully once we get up to 240, the conditions change a little with the winds. So we got a ground speed of 168 and indicating 174. And a true airspeed of 240. So our ground speed is pretty much right on point with our indicated airspeed, which means we kind of have like not too much of a tailwind or headwind. It's kind of neutral.
Generic Yankee X-ray Juliet, you are 28 miles north. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors visual runway 10 approach.
Look at that night sky though, it's beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous skies.
134.9er, 75 cargo jet, 619er. Descend and maintain 10,000 feet. Expect vectors. Visual runway 10 approach. Generic Yankee, X-ray Juliet.
All right. Let's get a little look from the outside again. Gorgeous. See, you lose focus for 1 second and the wind just destroys you. These winds are not kidding tonight, especially in this small little aircraft. Let's continue our climb here, don't forget.
Cargo jet 9004, you are 44 miles southwest. Descend and maintain 2,900 feet. Expect ILS runway 06 approach by Dolby transition. Cleared to Dolby.
Alright, let's put this, minimize this window so it's out of our way, guys. Let's check out the checklist real quick. Inertial separators are off. Fuel gauge, everything looking good. Everything in the green. Let's get a closer look. Ah, shit. This is the problem, guys, trying to hand fly and monitor the systems. Alright. Saw that ITT indicator started to go. Torque was a little high. Pull back the power a little bit. Alright, we are almost at our cruising altitude, guys. As we are heading towards the waypoint called Lafayette. As you can see, Lima Alpha Foxtrot India Tango in my FMS there. That is the next waypoint. We can start to pull the power back a little bit now that we are almost at flight level 240. Let's see what torque setting works best for us tonight. Okay, we're at 32. Let's increase the torque a little bit so we're not losing airspeed. All right, autopilot coming on. We're gonna put it on nav.
Simple takeoffs 24 traffic is 4 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 240 generic. Report them in sight. Air Canada 427 traffic is 9 o'clock 4 miles at flight level 230 TBM 9. Report them in sight.
Alright, there's a traffic. 4 o'clock, 4 miles, flight level 240. Yeah, so as you can see, it's just off our right wing. So we have them in sight.
Montreal Center FedEx 230 is passing 11,800 feet, descending 2,900 feet. FedEx 230 Montreal Center altimeter 29.94, continue to lobby as planned.
Alright, so I selected direct to the next waypoint, the one after Lafayette. Now autopilot's coming on. Autopilot on nav. Alright, the airplane's turning towards the next waypoint. We can finally put some music on. Alright guys, we get to relax a little bit now. That was a little stressful getting out of Montreal with all those winds,
bensound.com.
but we seem to be doing alright now. Landing lights should have came off a while ago. It's kind of dark, it's hard to see for me.
bensound.com.
So we're gonna pull the power, we're gonna push the thruster in a little bit to increase our powers. 63% sounds good because we don't want to take forever to get to Toronto here.
bensound.com.
Our de-icing system's gonna stay on.
bensound.com.
Alright, we're looking good, guys. Again, welcome to Simple Takeoffs. This is IFR flight to Toronto Pearson International from
bensound.com.
Montreal International. So, welcome. We're just cruising at flight level 240.
Bensound.com.
Let's check our flight plan real quick, make sure everything's good. I don't know, my cursor keeps going away.
Bensound.com.
So the next waypoint is Victor India Kilo November Oscar, and that is Vicno. The one after that is Aven,
Bensound.com.
and as we get a little closer to Toronto, we're gonna start briefing up the approach. Probably gonna do an ILS based on the TAF, the terminal airdrome forecast that I was checking at our approximate arrival time into Toronto. I am expecting runway 15 based on the winds, kind of coming from the north, not that strong. I think it was like 8 knots by the time we were supposed to get there. But that's what I'm expecting. Alright, I haven't had a chance to look at the chat yet.
Bensound.com. Bensound.com.
What a beautiful night. Again, welcome here to Simple Takeoffs, guys. I'm Arian, your host. I am the creator of this channel. Don't forget to check out our all new original Simple Takeoffs episodes of Flight Geeks, which is a show created by myself. And episode 7 just dropped tonight. I hope you guys enjoy it.
Bensound.com.
Beautiful story tonight. Beautiful. We're back, guys.
Bensound.com.
Oh, did we miss a transmission? What's up, ATC? What did you tell me? Okay, we missed the handoff. 134.98.
Bensound.com.
Alright,
Bensound.com.
beautiful, guys. Just cleared us to the next waypoint. And that's the next one. 19 miles out from Aven.
Bensound.com.
Beauty, beauty, beauty. God, I love flying. And we're at 62% engine torque at flight level 240, and that's indicating 180 knots. And let's see here, we're fighting 85 knot headwinds, which is making us basically get to Toronto slower. Our ground speed is 178, same as our indicated. But of course, at this altitude, our indicated airspeed should be is a lot less than our true airspeed. So I would expect if we weren't fighting strong headwinds, I would expect our ground speed to be higher. But let me just get the next track on for you guys. I would have liked to see some tailwinds here tonight to get us to Toronto quicker, but it is what it is. This next track is called Show Off.
bensound.com.
Millicent Patrick, VOHFYI. What's VOH?
bensound.com.
Millicent, what am I missing here? VOH. Or did you mean POH maybe? Pilot's Operating Handbook? Since I don't know any of the speeds off the top of my head.
bensound.com. bensound.com.
And I see we're dropping our altitude a little bit, so I'm gonna increase power. Make sure we keep our altitude at flight level 240 before ATC starts to complain at us.
bensound.com. 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 bensound.com.
Next track. This one's called Build Your Future.
bensound.com. bensound.com.
I'm gonna pull the power a little bit back.
bensound.com.
We got an outside air temperature of minus 36 degrees. Freezing, frigid conditions here in Canada. We're indicating 189 knots at a true airspeed of 275 and a ground speed of 194. So it's finally starting to get a little bit of a tailwind going, guys.
bensound.com. bensound.com.
Oh, my tea got all cold.
bensound.com. bensound.com.
Just messing here with the taxi and landing lights.
Bensound.com.
Alright guys, welcome to the boring part of the trip where we're just cruising.
Bensound.com.
I will be right back with you guys. Enjoy the views in the meantime.
Bensound.com. 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 Bensound.com.
Montreal Center here. Canada 975 is passing 16,000 feet, descending 10,000 feet. Air Canada 975 Montreal Center altimeter 29.84 continuous climb.
Air France. It's not Air France, it's Air France. That's funny.
Bensound.com.
Alright guys, I'm back live. Forgot to turn on the mic there for a sec. Again, welcome to this live stream, Tuesday evening live stream. We're flying to Toronto Pearson Airport from Montreal. I'm glad you can join me, whether it's live or if you watch this video on demand later on. Don't forget to gently tap that like button. It helps the YouTube algorithms pick up our video and distribute it around the world to all the great av geeks and aviation fans alike. And again, I'm your host, Arian. Nice to meet you. And nice to be with you guys.
Bensound.com.
Let's check the cockpit. Let's see what's going on in the flight deck. So
Bensound.com.
again, we departed from Charlie Yankee Uniform Lima, which is Pierre Trudeau Montreal International Airport, and we're just on our way here to Toronto Pearson. Over here. So as you can see, we are about a third of the way there. Let me just switch the track for you guys. All right. Let's make sure we're not missing anything from air traffic control. And again, guys, I'm very, this is all very new. The channel's like 3 weeks old, so I'm definitely planning, for all you serious av geeks, I'm definitely planning on joining VATSIM, which is the Virtual Air Traffic Simulation Network. That way, it adds another dimension of realism. I get to talk to real air traffic controllers online that are doing a great job volunteering for VATSIM network, as opposed to right now that, you know, I'm just going with the default Microsoft Flight Simulator ATC just because I want to kind of get more practice and get better at this so I don't embarrass myself on the VATSIM, because we all know that those folks expect you to be pro. And then the level after that would be Pilot Edge, which is my ultimate goal, is to join Pilot Edge and enjoy the, I guess, the best aviation simulation has to offer. But for now, this will do. As you can see, we're on our way to Tango Oscar Romeo November India Torney. That's the next waypoint on our IFR flight here to Toronto. And from there, it's pretty much a straight line all the way to Pearson Airport. And again, based on the TAF, the Terminal Aerodrome Forecast, which is basically the weather forecast for the surrounding airport, for each surrounding airport, for each airport and its surrounding. And for Toronto, based on that TAF for Toronto, the time that we are expected to arrive, I expect runway 15, just because the winds are coming kind of from the north. Sorry, yeah, the winds are coming kind of from the east, northeast, so I expect 15, which is basically a magnetic heading of 150, between 150 and 160. Let's check our gauges here real quick. Everything's in the green. We got voltage 60 volts. We got half fuel. What else? NG is looking good. ITT is looking good. NG is basically the percentage of rotation of the inner core, the gas compressor of the turboprop engine, and the interstage turbine temperature is basically the temperature from the end of the high pressure compression section of the turboprop and basically the beginning of the low pressure outlet section, the low pressure turbine, and everything's looking good with that. We got pressurization. So our cabin altitude here, as you can see, even though we're at flight level 240, we're maintaining based on our pressurization system, our bleed air that is on auto, managing this for us. We are maintaining a cabin pressure of around as if we were around 8,000 feet. That's my understanding, and let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but that's that. All right, guys, checking the winds again. We are doing a true airspeed of 271 knots. We're indicating 186. Maintaining flight level 240 steady. 6 miles out from the next waypoint called the Torn. Tango Oscar Romeo November. What else? All right, that's enough for checking everything. Let's go back to Ben Sound. Shout out Ben Sound, offering great royalty-free music for our streams. This one's called Manhattan.
Bensound.com.
I'm gonna give you a little view off our right wing, left wing. Beauty.
Bensound.com.
Barely any clouds tonight. Ooh, we are starting to reach Toronto Center, guys. 124675. Let's acknowledge. 124675.
Bensound.com.
Contact Toronto Center. As we start to make a little left turn, the autopilot turns us left towards the next waypoint. Continue to live on as planned. Roger that. The next waypoint is Lima, India, Bravo, Echo Mike. Live
Bensound.com.
right here. And 35 miles out.
Bensound.com. Bensound.com.
Again, guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to Simple Takeoffs. This is a live stream on a Tuesday. We're flying IFR from Montreal to Toronto. I'm glad you're with us. And if you watch this later on demand, as we see a little traffic to our, what is that? Call it 10 o'clock down there, passing. What was I saying? Yeah, welcome to this stream on a Tuesday, flying from Montreal to Toronto, flight level 240. I hope you guys can gently tap that like button and tell your friends about this channel if you like what you see, and also check out my animated series Flight Geeks. Episode 7 just dropped today. This next track's called Lock It Down.
Bensound.com.
And guys, I have plans to grow this channel and purchase more equipment, and obviously I'm not sponsored by anybody, and this channel is still new. I'm not monetized. I don't make any ad revenue, so the only way we can grow would be with your support. In the meantime, you can check out my channel, help me get some likes so the algorithms pick us up, and check the about section of my channel for my if you want to financially support the channel. I have my PayPal and email address there. It's greatly appreciated. I want to buy more monitors so I can, because right now I'm going on one monitor and it's kind of difficult to like go like that and look around you when you're, especially when you're taxiing, I find, and especially when it's at night. Just night taxiing is so difficult. It would be tremendously more realistic and easier on me if I had two more monitors that I could just see my surroundings. And need a couple other things too in terms of equipment. If you do want to see the hardware I'm running, check out the about section of the channel. I've listed it all there. And again, welcome. I hope you're enjoying the stream so far as we fly to Toronto. It's always a good feeling to start hearing the next, like on the handoff, the next sector is the city that you're about to arrive at. So we're at Toronto Center now, which means we are kind of starting to see the light. If I check the map here, zoom out, yeah, we're almost approaching about halfway there. And again, we took off with 75% fuel, so we've used about a quarter and we're halfway there. So I'm expecting us to arrive with about, call it 25% or a quarter tank on each wing. Let me just switch the soundtrack for you guys. All right, this next one's called Low Ride. This next one's called Flying Noodles.
bensound.com. 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 bensound.com.
Are you ready? Go!
bensound.com. bensound.com.
All right. Next track called Let It Go. Shout out to Ben Sound again.
bensound.com. 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 bensound.com.
Porter, probably one of those airplanes that operates out of Billy Bishop International, downtown Toronto. Porter Airlines is their official airline, I think. So next waypoint is IGSA, India Golf Sierra Alpha. I'm just thinking about the descent here. Assuming for the standard ILS, say I'm going to come in around, call it 3,000 feet. I'm at 2.4, call it 4,000, so 20,000 descent, 1,000 feet a minute, only 20 minutes. $20 to descend. Alright, I'm about 90 miles out. And we are going 195. Let me just switch the track before we do this. Ironically, it's called Get Ready because we're getting ready for our descent.
bensound.com.
Okay, so if we're going, let's call it 200. That's 223 miles per hour. And if we're 90 nautical miles out, that's 104 miles. So we're about 30 minutes out from Toronto. And I need to descend to around, call it 4,000. So at 1,000 feet a minute, that's 20,000 feet I need to lose in 20 minutes. So I'm 30 minutes out. So I'll need to start descending in 10 minutes, but let's be safe and call it 5 minutes. Let's be extra safe and call it right now and go a little bit less than 1,000. So that should smooth things out. Let's see. So altimeter, we should have put it on 29 or 902, but it was close anyway. Now if that was like 300 whatever, then that would have been a big blunder on our part, but thankfully it was close in terms of the altimeter setting that we took off from in Montreal, and the standard altimeter setting of 29 or 902. Alright. Fuel gauge. All our de-icing systems on. I can turn on inertial separate now just so I don't forget. Alright. So I'm gonna ask ATC to decrease our altitude here. Let's see. For now we'll climb 4,000 down. So we'll ask for 240.
Request flight level 200.
Or sorry, 200. Good, and they give it to us. We're gonna acknowledge that.
Descend and maintain flight level 200. Simple takeoffs 2.
So in my FCU here, I select altitude, turn my bug. We got our initial separators on, that's fine. Alright. And then we're gonna choose a vertical airspeed. It's so dark here, I can't see. Vertical airspeed of, call it 600 maybe, 700. Alright. It is so freaking small, I can't see. Let's zoom in here. Yeah, 700 sounds good to me, guys. So we're descending now to 22,000 feet as cleared by ATC. And it's probably for the best. See what I did there? This next track's called For the Best. Shout out Ben Sound. Alright. So as we descend, let's give you guys some views. Oh, I didn't mean to request vector. I thought I'm acknowledging their descent, but expediting the descent. So let's go ahead and comply. They want us to descend quicker. So we'll VS it down, say 1,000. We're at 1,100 right now. There. See, I was trying to, but for some reason it said talked about waypoints and freaking vectors.
Continue to accept turning and following heading 260. Resume on navigation. Simple takeoffs 24.
So continue to accept heading 260. Good. I don't know why I said 260. We're going 250 towards accept, but anyway. All right. Good. Next track. Feeling good. All these tracks seem to line up with the theme of whatever I'm talking about at the time.
bensound.com.
Alright, I'm gonna continue my descent. I'm gonna be at around 15,000 feet.
bensound.com.
Let's see if they give it to us. Alright guys, again, if you're just joining us, welcome to this live stream. We're flying from Montreal to Toronto International, Montreal International to Toronto Pearson, Yankee Zulu. We're about 2/3 of the way there, as ATC just gave us our requested altitude decrease to 15000, and I need the altimeter setting because now we are going below flight level 180, guys. As I decrease my altitude to 15000, and then I'm gonna VS it. Down around 1,000 feet a minute. I'm paranoid that I'll be too high, so I'd rather come in lower than I need to be and level off than be too high by the time I'm at my approach point.
Simple takeoffs 24, please expedite your descent 15,000 feet.
All right. I'm already descending at 1,000 feet a minute, dude. Relax. All right. I wonder how I can get the weather at Pearson before I get close. This is where ForeFlight would come in handy with an iPad, guys.
bensound.com.
Alright, let's go to our flight management system here. Our Garmin. So I'm going to start looking at procedures.
bensound.com.
We're going to remove that departure Because I find when I have a departure in there and I arm the approach, for some reason it starts to go back to the departure. It's gonna like turn around and go to Montreal, and we don't want that. For the approach, let's take ILS 5. So we loaded it, but we haven't activated it yet. I just wanted to see it in the flight plan. So we're planning for an ILS, into runway 5. Let me think about this. It's either going to be 5 or 15 based on the winds. Let's do 15. I think the winds are coming out of the north from the Takeoffs that I checked earlier. I believe I had said that. So let's do ILS runway 15 left, and we'll plan for that. And if it changes, it changes. But just want to load it in the flight plan here to start getting a sense of my altitudes. Okay, so this one wants us on GOX at 5,000. So if you remember when I first started to calculate when I need to descend and whatever, I assumed we were going to need to be at 4,000. This wants us at 5, which is actually better for us. That means we can descend slower. But we're still keeping a steady 1,000 to 15,000 feet, and I want the altimeter. They should give it to us when they ask us to descend below flight level 180, but how do I ask for the altimeter? No clue how to ask for the altimeter setting, guys. So good thing we have good visual reference to the ground, because if we were in IFR, like cloudy conditions right now, this would have been a big issue. We need our local pressure altitude setting to have our altimeter display the correct altitude. You don't want to be too high or too low. As we start to level off at 15,000 feet. All right. I want to see if I can sneak in a little bit of a showcase session real quick. We will take this for a spin. Take the drone for a spin. Look at that. Woo! That looks freaking beautiful.
bensound.com.
Gorgeous, guys. And there you go, guys. Altimeter 2965. So there's the perfect example of what I was just talking about. So let's acknowledge what he just told us. And altimeter is 2965. So let's stop horsing around for a second. Come back into the flight deck. 134.25.
bensound.com.
134.254 simple takeoffs 2.
Alright, but just before we do that handoff,
bensound.com.
2965 is our altimeter, which means we are too low. It's basically exactly what we didn't want. So our standard altimeter setting of 2992 was for flight level 180 and above. And our current local altimeter is below the standard, so we were actually, according to the pressure altitude, which is what our altimeter runs on, we were too low, and that's why they told us to go back up to 15,000. And
bensound.com.
Toronto Center just cleared us to Ragged, and that is the next waypoint on our FMC here, so we are looking good.
bensound.com.
So I need to be at 5,000 feet for the approach.
bensound.com. bensound.com.
Alright guys, we're pretty much coming up to 1/4 of the way left.
bensound.com.
And we are back to 15,000. So
bensound.com.
again, because we're in the winter, we probably have a low pressure system around here, and that's why our local altimeter setting is under the standard. So the fact that we didn't get our altimeter setting when we came below flight level 180 turned out to be a bigger problem than I expected. So that's why ATC told us to climb back up, because we were going according to 2992, but it was actually 2965, and that's why I was looking for the altimeter setting and I didn't know how to get it. But
bensound.com.
as we enter the clouds, Susan says beautiful view. Thank you, Susan. Always supporting the channel. Appreciate that. Gorgeous night. Let's change the tracks for you guys. Up next, Delusional. Ooh, this one's funky. Kind of like emceeing and flying here.
bensound.com.
Where's my tips?
bensound.com.
Alright, we're indicating 194 knots, ground speed of 185.
bensound.com. 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 bensound.com.
Groovy. Hi guys, if you're just joining us, welcome to the Simple Takeoffs live stream, flying from IFR from Montreal to Toronto. Pretty much getting close to our destination here. Next track, Saint Tropez. Alright, so yeah, we're expecting one. I'm kind of changing my mind now. Let's do runway 5. It doesn't even matter. Let's just wait to see what approach gives us, what Toronto arrival gives us. For now, I will go ahead and change it to ILS. Let's go for 1.5 left, since the winds are kind of yeah, the winds are kind of coming from the north. Let's do 3-3 left. See what happens. I'll put that in for now. So that will bring us over the lake here, like that. Wants us at Ikmex. Ikmex, that's India Kilo Mike Echo X-ray at 5,570 feet. You know what, just out of curiosity, I'm wondering if that matches up with Sky Vector if I check the actual ILS approach procedure, the approach plate for YYZ runway 33 left, as I quickly pick the next track called Poppy. Ah, you know what? Sky Vector doesn't cover Canadian airports. I forgot. Let's see if we could give it a quick Google here. Pearson Airport approach plates. Okay, approach plates. Boom, ILS. Let's see. Do you guys see my screen here? These are the arrivals, so we want to go just the ILSs.
bensound.com. bensound.com.
Alright, right here. So ILS run. I hope you guys can see my screen. So ILS runway 33 left. So this is why I wanted to check, because in reality the approach plate wants us to come into Ikmex at 3,000, go all the way to Mbop, Echo Mike Bravo Oscar Papa, and catch the glide slope there at this point at 3,000 and go down. And the ILS minimum altitude here, I don't know guys, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's 255 feet above the runway. So I don't know what's going on with Microsoft Flight Simulator here. I don't know if these preloaded procedures take into account real altitudes or is it just BS?
bensound.com.
Yeah, like it's telling me ICMEX at 557 whatever. I'm gonna fix that.
bensound.com.
Did that register?
bensound.com.
Huh. Well, we'll just take a mental note of the fact that we need to come to ICMEX at 3000 and pretty much from there.
bensound.com.
Why you tripping? Yeah, at urban we're gonna intercept the glide slope and go down to 33 left. So that's about enough of me trying to brief this because approach might give me something different. There we go, right on cue there. Descend and maintain 4,000. Simple takeoffs. Simple takeoffs 2-4. Terrible radio. So we're gonna go VS. You just said 4,000. This is why I want VATSIM, guys. This is ridiculous. Okay, now they want us at 7,000 instead of 4. I was getting ready for 4. So 7,000. I pick 7,000 here. I go to my FCU again, put it on vertical speed, and we're gonna VS it at 1,000. Beauty. Alright, we're descending and we're gonna pull the power back just so we don't accelerate too much on this descent. Let's see here. Let's try a power setting of 50 and see where that gets us in terms of airspeed. Okay. Alright. So we are looking good on our descent to 7,000. Let me just hop on over to Bensound real quick. So we are done with this for now, guys. Let me go back to the mainstream here. All right. Where were we? Oh yeah, music. Okay, music. The song's called Parole. Alright, if you're just joining me, I'm going to say this one last time and then I have to start focusing on the approach. Thank you for joining Simple Takeoffs live stream flight from IFR flight from Montreal to Toronto, guys. If you like this video and if you check out the other videos on my channel, like Flight Geeks, are all original Simple Takeoffs animated aviation series. Episode 7 just dropped today. I'm pretty happy with it myself, but you guys have a look and let me know what you think in the comments. Give us a subscribe, give this video a like. It helps with YouTube pushing the algorithms, pushing our video through their algorithms. So that's enough of that. Did we get an approach yet? So here, they're telling me descend and maintain 4,000, and I was about to do that, and I acknowledged it. And suddenly, descend and maintain 7,000. Keep speed not above 220. So obviously that's not gonna be an issue. We're doing 196. Alright guys. So the next waypoint is Denka. That's Delta Echo November Kilo Alpha. As I get a glance at my cute kitty there. Okay, so let's get some views. Ooh, look at Toronto all lit up here. Beautiful. It's probably the outskirts. What is that, the 401 there? 401 is the main highway that runs east-west through Toronto, guys. This is my hometown, so I know. In case you guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I wonder when we're gonna be able to get our ATIS and all that. How does that work? If somebody knows when the ATIS comes available, I guess we're not within range right now, but let me know in the comments if there's a way to get the ATIS earlier. Aside from obviously like outside of Microsoft Flight Simulator, I could just go to Nav Canada or whatever. Even liveatc.net has the METARs listed. Completely forgetting about my tea here.
bensound.com.
So everything's looking good so far. What do we got?
bensound.com.
Pressurization, everything's good.
bensound.com.
Everything's in the green. Inertial separators remain on.
bensound.com.
And we got a handoff 124.92. I gotta put my T down. 124.92.
bensound.com.
Wow, look at this. Why did I even have it on that cockpit view? Look at this. Beautiful. 2963. Proceed to Dugda as planned. And I don't think I need to acknowledge that. Okay. Good. Let's just update the altimeter setting real quick. 2963. And that's the backup one that we freaking forgot to
bensound.com.
adjust last time, but it didn't matter because the aircraft is following this one, which was close. 0.02 of an inch doesn't really matter anyway.
bensound.com.
All right, Dugda.
bensound.com.
Whoops. Arm the approach, sir. Arm the approach, sir. I had not armed the approach. So we were going off course there for a second. So the approach is on. Let's go back to nav real quick. Okay, I'm gonna stay on nav just because I think we're not in range yet for the approach, and also they might not necessarily give us the 3-3 left that we were expecting. Continue to Dugda as planned. Alright, I don't see Dugda here. That's because I put my own approach thing in. So I'm gonna come to my MFD here.
Air Canada 42, contact Toronto Center on 134.25. Good day. Simple takeoffs 24, descend and maintain 3,000 feet.
Alright, direct to Dugda. And descend and maintain 3,000.
Simple takeoffs 24, contact approach on 125.4.
this is where everything starts to go quick. So first we're gonna aviate, which is 3,000. Then acknowledge the handoff.
125 decimal for simple takeoffs 24.
And we're gonna VS it down.
Going to 13.4.25 Air Canada 42.
Okay, I'm gonna arm the approach here. Okay, now the autopilot's on approach, and we're setting a vertical speed of 1,000, not 1,200. That's too much. Go back up to 1,000. What are you doing? Dugda, direct to, go. Huh. Oh yeah, right here.
2645, you are 17 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 24 left approach by a central transition.
We need to be on GPS here, guys. That's why it was acting all funky, because I had armed the approach and it had put it on localizer. So I need to go to Dugda.
Maintain 3,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 24 left approach by a central transition. Clear to Central WestJet 2645.
Alright, so we are descending to 3,000.
2645 contract approach.
Where are we turning?
4.4. Good day.
Oh, okay, it's turning back towards Dugda. You know what? I'm just gonna
125 decimal 4 for West.
give myself direct to ICMEX, which is the first, the initial fixed point for ILS 33 left, because I don't know what approach is doing right now.
Good day.
And we're gonna put the approach on, guys. The airplane's gonna start to turn towards ICMEX. I'm gonna explain in a second right now. I'm just trying to keep this flight smooth and on track. Okay. Let me just change this one. Alright. I think we're good now. This is the one question mark I have with Microsoft Flight Simulator, is like when we get near the approach point, it starts acting all funky. It doesn't properly clear me for certain. Again, I'm like 90% sure I'm doing something wrong, so please put it in the comments like what the hell I'm doing wrong. But in terms of giving me a proper approach, like, you know, you're cleared for ILS whatever, like this, expect ILS 24, why didn't it do that with us? It told us to proceed to Dugda. That seemed to be kind of behind us. We had passed it at that point. And I never got that message like you're cleared to whatever, expect ILS whatever. Maybe it's just too early and they'll still give it to us. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. But for now, I've just I'm following my own plan, which was ILS 33 left into Pearson. And we're looking good at 3,000, which is where we want to be at ICMEX here. So we're just heading direct to ICMEX. This is the point that it gets a little funky because I feel like I'm deviating from ATC, but then again, ATC never told me anything meaningful. Let me go through the list here. So descend and maintain 3,000. This is the last message that they gave me. So Toronto Center, altimeter, continue to Dugda, and that was like, you know, somewhere behind us. Okay, fine. And we descend and maintain 3,000. They handed us, oh shit, we need to go to approach, guys. That's the freaking thing we freaking missed. 124 decimal. I'm so sorry if you guys are just like screaming at the other end. Go to approach, you idiot! Alright. Get your shit together. 125 decimal 40. 125 decimal 40 Toronto approach. Here I am like, why isn't it giving me an approach? Well, because you haven't went on approach. This is the kind of part of the flight that everything starts to happen real quick. Continuous plan. So I guess they're just allowing me to, oh, there we go. Okay, Nudek. So they're giving us 2-3. There we go. That's what I was waiting for, guys.
Maintain present heading at altitude. Expect ILS runway 23 approach via Nudek transition. Cleared to Nudek simple takeoffs 24.
Simple takeoffs 24 traffic is 11 o'clock, 2 miles at 6,900 feet generic. Report them in sight.
11 o'clock, 2 miles.
Simple takeoffs 24 traffic alert. 6 o'clock less than 1 mile, 6,600 feet generic. Report them in sight. WestJet 2645, you are 12 miles east of Toronto. Contact tower on
Okay.
1.8.7 when inbound.
On my left there, that's the generic. That's the first one. So traffic in sight.
24 traffic is 3 o'clock, 4 miles at 2,300.
Holy, they're everywhere.
Report them in sight.
Alright, we got that one. 3 o'clock. There's like 2 of them.
Simple takeoffs 24 have the generic in sight.
Alright, what else? Okay, back to the cockpit, guys. I'm gonna go ILS 23 via Nudek transition, load and activate. Which means we have to turn around, which is fine. That's fine. That was my mistake, so I have to own that. Okay, so autopilot.
Jazz 7462 traffic is 2 o'clock, 4 miles at 1,700 feet generic. Report them in sight.
So we're gonna keep our altitude at 3,000, and we are cleared to Nudek.
Traffic is 7 o'clock, 3 miles at 6,900 feet.
7 o'clock, 3 miles.
Report them in sight. Jazz 7462 traffic is 1 o'clock, 4 miles at 4,400 feet generic.
Well, we're turning, so 7 o'clock is kind of irrelevant now. There's traffic everywhere, so I'm just gonna say I don't have it in sight.
Contact tower on 118.3.
So air traffic control keeps a good eye on us, guys.
Rouge 1645, you are 12 miles east of Toronto. Contact
Gets so busy around here that I don't even have a time to sneak in my radio call. Traffic not in sight.
Takeoffs 2
Okay.
traffic not in sight.
Alright, take a deep breath.
tower on 118.35, Jazz 746.
Fuel gauges. Everything's looking
Tower on 118.3.
dandy schmandy. De-icing, everything's on. The inertial separators have been on. Landing lights below flight level. What is this?
400 feet generic. Report them in sight.
Okay, so we are below that. Landing lights should have been on. You live and you learn. Okay, short final landing gear down. Blah blah blah. That's good. Cool. So we're all right. Now I have a second to catch my breath, guys. So what happened there was I prematurely gave myself a I briefed an ILS to 33 left because I had just checked the terminal aerodrome forecast, which is like the forecast for the airport area that you're arriving into earlier before this flight, before I went live with you guys. And the winds, it was showing the winds kind of coming from the northeast-ish. So based on that, I briefed 33 left for myself before I ever got into this arrival area. So, and then amongst the chaos, that's why they always say, think ahead of the airplane, act ahead of the airplane, because, things can start happening real quickly, especially on the arrival portion. So I had missed the handoff somehow. It also doesn't help, I'm not making excuses, but I'm trying to put on music for you guys and all that, so it's kind of hard to hear ATC sometimes, but I had missed the handoff to approach, And here I was saying, oh, how come I'm not getting an approach into the, they're not giving me a clearance to a waypoint for an ILS approach or whatever. And turns out that I had just missed the fact that I was supposed to go on Toronto approach, or arrival as they call it in Canada. So that was the little tidbit that we learned from for next time. And they cleared us to ILS runway 23 via Nudek transition, so I would expect the airplane to start to turn around now towards Nudek.
2645 is missed approach at Toronto. WestJet 2645, you are
Had we activated the approach? I think it was active.
maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 23 approach via Nudek transition.
Alright.
Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect ILS runway 23 approach via Nudek transition. Clear to Nudek WestJet 2645. Simple takeoffs 24, contact Toronto Center on 124.9 or 25. Good day.
Okay. Let's acknowledge that.
124.9 or 25 simple takeoffs 24.
So over here on my Logitech flight radio panel, I'm just going to 124.92. Like that. Why did it give me Toronto Center? Like, why would you hand me from
100 feet.
arrival back to center?
24 Toronto Center altimeter 29.62. Continue to carry as planned.
Alright, that makes sense. Just don't know why I couldn't stay with arrival.
Contact approach.
What the fuck? This is exactly, what are you doing, Microsoft Flight Simulator? Now I understand, guys, why like 99% of the streamers are on VATSIM, and I'll get there. Just let me get a little more proficient at this, so I don't embarrass myself on VATSIM. And trust me, I'm gonna be on VATSIM quicker than you know it.
24 approach altimeter 29.62. Continue to carry as planned.
Continue to Calvi as planned. Okay. Roger that. So ILS into 2-3. I'm gonna see if I can brief that up real quick. Let me see if I can share my screen with you guys again real quick. Okay. So Nudek 3000 Calvi is where we are going to pick up the glide slope and go all the way down to so with the ILS into runway 23, we're going to a minimum of 200 feet. And that all looks good to me. Let's go back to our stream deck. Put on some music. Shout out Ben Sound. This next track's called Funk House. Getting funky with it. Alright, 3000 should be a little lower.
bensound.com.
So, we need to be 100 feet lower. I had put 3,100 feet instead of 3,000 feet.
bensound.com.
There we go. Starting to get the tower handoff here.
bensound.com.
11835, simple takeoffs. 2-4. Alright.
bensound.com.
So
bensound.com. bensound.com.
200 feet is our
Bensound.com.
minimum. Doesn't even matter. Okay, whatever.
Bensound.com. Bensound.com.
Alright, guys. We are looking good. Zoom in. Alright, we're just heading towards Omtok, where we're hopefully gonna intercept the glide slope at 3000 and come all the way down. The glide slope's already in, as you can see. So that little G you see beside the my altimeter is the glide slope that is in, and we need to start our descent real quick. So let me see if I can slap a song real quick. Okay, this is the last song that I could put on. I need to start focusing on this. So checklist, landing gear, flaps, autopilot disconnect. All right, I think we can start to hand fly. So whoa, autopilot coming off. Sorry about that, guys.
Bensound.com.
Windy, windy. All right. I want to decrease the power. We are too high and the glide slope's beneath us. So we are at Omtok. And you can see at on our horizontal situation indicator there that we are a little bit right of course, but we're good.
Bensound.com.
Landing gear coming down as we wait for that. All right, 3 green, no red.
Bensound.com.
And we are gonna go over the tower now. Flaps coming down. 1 level over the tower.
Tower simple takeoffs 2 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 23.
Bensound.com.
Simple takeoffs 24 tower. Altimeter 29 decimal 611.50 at 8. Cleared ILS 23 approach.
Cleared ILS 23 approach, simple takeoffs 24. Alright guys, I'm just trying to intercept the glide slope a little below.
Wind 150 at 8. Cleared to land runway 23.
Good land, 2-3, simple takeoffs 2-4.
Cleared to land runway 23 simple takeoffs 24.
Alright, flaps coming full, guys. And I'm gonna trim her down a little bit so I'm not fighting on the yoke.
4310 miles northeast inbound ILS runway 23 approach.
As we are hand flying it in to runway 23.
29 decimal 611.150 at 8. Cleared ILS runway 23 approach. Rouge 1645 turn next taxiway. Cleared ILS runway 23 approach jet 7483.
Here we go.
Rouge 1645 contact ground on 121 decimal 9er.
As we're coming in for the landing.
121 decimal 9er for Rouge 1645.
Alright, I'm not even gonna use reverse thrusters. Save the brakes, just slowly let the airplane slow down. And we're gonna exit next taxiway. Alright, welcome to Toronto, guys. We got here safe and sound. It was a little complicated, but we made it.
Simple takeoffs 24 turn next taxiway.
Alright, guys.
Simple takeoffs
121.9. 1 second. Alright, I'm just gonna stop here for a second. Welcome to Toronto. Let's acknowledge that handoff. 121.9er.
121.9er for simple takeoffs 2.
Okay, 121.9er.
Tower Air Canada Niner, 8512 miles, eastbound ILS runway.
Let's request taxi to parking and see how this
Ground
goes.
simple takeoffs 2 for taxi to parking.
Simple takeoffs 2 for taxi to general aviation parking using taxiway Papa Foxtrot, cross runway 23 Foxtrot, Hotel Golf Echo November, cross runway 15 left November, Bravo Alpha Foxtrot, Alpha Golf.
Alright guys, I'm gonna clean up the airplane
Taxiing to general
and
aviation
pretend I didn't hear that.
taxiway Papa Foxtrot,
That's not happening right now.
23 Foxtrot, Hotel Golf Echo November, cross runway 15 left November, Bravo
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? That is one complicated taxi instruction, guys. Let's see here. If we zoom in, so we are right here. It wants us to taxi to general aviation. Cross runway. Oh, okay. So we should have taken a left. That's what happened. Okay. So general aviation is, they want us to cross runway 15 left, which is here. I see. So we belong in this little area over here. Let's clean up the airplane. So, taxi lights are on. Nav lights coming off. Strobe lights coming off. The ice can stay on till we get to the gates. Again, welcome to Toronto. We're just cleaning up the airplane here. Trims. So flaps coming back to up position. Trims are gonna reset to takeoff. So we need to turn back around, looks like, and cross runway 23. And then take a right, cross 15. Okay. Looks like that airliner over there is also turning around or something like that.
Continue taxi.
So parking brake coming off.
To the gate. Jazz 7483 taxi to gate 57 via taxiway Hotel 2 Hotel cross runway 15 right Hotel Golf Echo November cross
Gotta love these taxi instructions, huh?
Alpha Foxtrot Alpha Alpha Tango.
And this is why if you're new to simming, like me, you shouldn't be
Roger Rouge 164.
going to Pearson Airport. You should go to, oh my goodness, not this again. Okay, just wanted to make sure that plane's not coming here.
Taxiing to gate 57 using taxiway Hotel 2 Hotel cross runway 15 right Hotel Golf Echo November.
All right, this is runway 23.
Bravo Alpha Foxtrot Alpha Alpha Tango Jazz 7483.
Redonkulous. Clear to the left, clear to the right. Let's quickly cross runway 23 as we were told. Now I have no idea all these letters with the taxiways. If I'm precisely on the ones that ground told me, but hopefully we're gonna get more accurate with our taxiing as time goes by, but I really need to go to a simpler airport. This is way too complex for particularly someone who hasn't briefed the taxi either. Okay. So we're over there. If we take a right, we should be on the right path towards the general aviation. Alright, that sounds good to me. So I'm going to take a right on this taxiway right here. Alright. Just out of curiosity, what have they told us? There's an airplane right there, which is not good. And that is why you follow the taxi instructions you've been given, guys. Not just make up your own. Let me head on out of this fella's way real quick. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Ah, he disappeared. Great. Wonderful. Alright guys, if you're just joining us, we're just taxiing back, struggling mightily in the process, but we're taxiing back to, I think, what is the general aviation area in Pearson Airport. I was just trying to review my taxi instructions. So we're gonna cross runway 15 left, which I believe is this. We are about to cross this runway, but there's another airliner coming. We'll just have to get out of its way. Alright. It's particularly hard to see at night. Just that's me. Okay, clear to the left, clear to the right. I'm just gonna quickly cross here. I'm really sorry for not following the proper taxi procedures. I'm just gonna try to get around them. Again, I know this is ridiculous, guys, but there we go. There we go, he disappeared. Good. And if you guys are laughing right now, you should be. You should be laughing. I'm laughing. Not good. Should I be making up my own taxi instructions, taxi routes? Is there another aircraft coming? No. Okay, where are we here? Let's check where we are real quick. Alright, general aviation should be coming up to our left. That little thing on the bottom left of my flight management computer there. That's the GA area, but how do we get there? Interesting. Let's just keep going to the end, see what happens. Yeah, that's definitely not where the general aviation thing is. Okay. I knew this would be the most challenging part of the trip, the taxiing. It always is, especially at night. So I have two options right now. Either I can do this properly, either I can go to Sky. Oh yeah, Sky Vector doesn't have the. I do have the airport diagram. Let me see if I can. I almost don't really care to do this, but let's see. if we go to our handy dandy airport diagram, all right, let me see if I can share my screen with you guys again real fast. Flight planning, okay. Parking brake, I'm gonna set it real quick so I can rest my feet here. Just shut that up. Okay, general aviation, let's see. Ah, that's where general aviation is, okay. So that's runway 23. I think I'm somewhere here. So in my flight management computer, that little area that I thought was the general aviation parking was actually not even the airport. To get to the general aviation, I'm gonna have to go all the way back, cross runway 33 left, and take a right. Okay, so I think where we went wrong was we took a right and we crossed 15 right or 33 left, but we should have went left and crossed. Why do we need to cross it though? I don't know. These taxi instructions from Microsoft Flight Simulator are not to be taken too seriously from my experience. But let's do this anyway. So now that we have a chance to put some music back on, let us do so. We've come this far, might as well go back and park it at GA. So I'm going to turn around, cross this runway.
Bensound.com.
See if I can go back to... Yeah, I think the whole ground instruction is long gone. It's an afterthought at this point. I'm just gonna see if we can make it back to the general aviation, guys. So I'm gonna do a 180, cross runway 15 right or 33 left, whatever.
Bensound.com.
And then take a right on here, okay. Hopefully there won't be any more airplanes on our way again. Parking brake coming off.
Bensound.com.
It's just perfect. It's just what you need to deal with after a long ass flight, isn't it? And again, guys, if you're new to this stream, don't forget to like this video and give me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And check out our animated series Flight Geeks,
Bensound.com.
out now. Episode 7 just came out today. So I'm just trying to read the chat.
Bensound.com.
Whee! Alright, let's get serious.
Bensound.com.
I can't freaking see the chat from here. 1 second, guys. Multitasking up the wazoo here. Let me see the chat. Let's right the wrong. Just me, my boy. You're right. You know what? It's a little early for me to be landing in Pearson because the taxiways are just so complicated, as you see on the map here on our right. What I should be doing is going to simpler airports for now. But let's right the wrong, as you said. Parking brake back off. So So obviously we would never ever cross the runway if we were doing it properly, but I think that boat has sailed in terms of our taxiing upon landing here, guys. So I'm just gonna quickly go clear to the right and clear to the left as we go back. So we crossed 33 left. Now we're crossing this taxiway. All right. Coming up on. As soon as I go to look at the chat, I come off center line. Okay. Let's see here. If I take a right here and then another right, I should be able to go straight and right into general aviation, hopefully. So let's do that. Actually, first, let me just put on the one last tune for you guys. Always worrying about the tune. All right, good.
Bensound.com.
All right, clear to the left. Should be coming up on the general aviation area.
Bensound.com.
Someone said, yo, sick. Thank you. If you're just joining us, so we flew from Montreal to Toronto and we landed at Pearson Airport, guys, runway 23. Now we're just on our way to the parking. Is this the GA area? Nope, these are the big boys. I think the GA area is coming up. And obviously I do also need to keep an eye on the winds. If this was in reality, we would want to have our ailerons towards the wind. So that's part of the correct taxiing procedures, but we're not going into that level of detail here. Well, let me set the parking brake real quick. As I select one of the last tunes of the night for you guys. Delusional, vibe and sneaky. That sounds good to me. All right, we vibe and sneaky. All right. General aviation. We can access general aviation through the little ramp called EA, Echo Alpha. So let's go try to find Echo Alpha, guys. Looks like we're almost there. I just need to go a little bit further down. I believe Echo Alpha should be either the next wrap or the one, because I don't see any small airplanes around here. Alright, parking brake coming off. Okay, this looks like the unplowed snowy section where the little bum airplanes like us belong, no?
Bensound.com.
Echo Alpha. It's not even. I mean, if I continue going straight. You know what? I'm just gonna take a right here. I think this must be the general aviation area. Yeah, like if I go all the way down, maybe did we even pass it? Okay, since we can take a right, let's take a right here, guys. So parking brake, come back off. What is this camera angle? Yeah, I'm just gonna take a right. This is kind of difficult. Especially at night. I'm kind of expecting to see like a bunch of Cessnas parked somewhere so I can kind of identify that way that I'm in the general aviation area, but I'm seeing all these big boys. What about down there? Does anybody want to greet us in Toronto? Anybody? Maybe no one's here. Probably all the GA guys are not about to fly in this weather at this time of night like us, so maybe that's why there's no one here. They're all like, bro, you crazy. Alright guys. Let's take it right here. What a lonely area. Alright, let's just pretend our hangars are right here. There's Toronto Tower. Alright, that looks like the GA area to me. I guess there's none of those guys that are standing there with the glow sticks to greet us. Lead us into the parking area. Alright, I'm just gonna park it right here. Beautiful. We have arrived to Toronto, Pearson Airport from Montreal, Trudeau International. Thank you guys for watching. Let me just run through our checklist now. So parking brake is set, master caution off. ATC is closed. Okay, shut down. Parking brake is set. Exterior lights all come in off. There we go. Interior lights, whatever is required. Fuel selector going back to manual now. Autopilot trims are off. I believe the switch. Okay, let's just follow the checklist. Bleed air off. Beautiful. Throttle. Flight idle for 2 minutes. Alright, I'm gonna put it in the idle position. This is for 2 minutes. So again, thank you guys for keeping me company on this flight to Toronto. We have arrived safe and sound. Both me and the co-pilot. Alright, we're just gonna call that 2 minutes. We're gonna go to low idle for 15 seconds here. Alright. Inertial separators are gonna come off momentarily. Alright guys, we're just about ready to cut this off. There we go. Engine has been cut off. Beautiful. Inertial separators coming off. De-icers all coming off. Pitot heat off. Master warning off. Alright. Boost pump coming to off. Generator off. Battery off. Source. Crash lever down. Alright guys, there we go. We have shut her down and now we are cold and dark in Toronto. Don't forget to check out my plane spotting channel called 4RNR Heavy. 4Runner Heavy. That's hold on one second. Somebody on Twitch said, when you are done with this flight, would you download the Sonics mod? Would you install the Sonics mod, please? Okay. Willis Tower. I don't know what the hell that is. What was I saying? The my other channel is called 4 Romeo November Romeo HVY Hotel Victor Yankee. That's 4Runner Heavy. That's my plane spotting channel that basically I go over to Toronto Pearson where we are right now and I film all the landings for you guys. So be sure to give that a subscribe if you like what you see, and tell everybody about this stream and this channel. It's very new. As you can see, we put a lot of work into this channel. We put a lot of great content out for you guys to watch. So I would appreciate it if you spread the word. And again, if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. I'm looking forward to a lot of good things coming up in 2022, guys. So very excited for the channel to grow and for us to have a lot of fun times in the chats as we fly. So thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, ciao guys.